I guess the commentary overlords wanted me to officially come back with a video on someone in the DeviantArt ranting community. Hey Ponder, have you ever heard of someone named SavDraws?
Yeah, I know her. Why?
I don't know. I just randomly decided to ask a random person I knew. Also, I'm gonna be covering her today.
Say no more! Whip out the ducks. Let's get started.
But I'm not gay for digital time.
I said say no more! Stop.
Hello everyone, my name is SavDraws. Before we get started, this is the featured fan art for this video. If you like this video, poke that like button, subscribe for more content, and links in the description to everything that you see. And let's get started. Yes, this is going to be an OC review. I actually found this OC about a month or two ago, and it was pointed out to me by Pastel. We were just messing around on DeviantArt, and it came up. I don't know where we found this. I think I found another OC of theirs and we were going through their gallery and it just kind of came up. And it kind of stood out to me a little bit, mainly because I wanted to punch it. Yes. Mainly because...
Oh my god. It's... Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, I knew the first thing I was gonna address in this video was the acting. What SavDraws tries to do is this robo-buddy shtick where she's this awkward, quirky persona, yet she throws in this, oh my god, so cringe, and I wanna punch you in the face, without realizing that those statements apply more to someone who's applying a douchebag persona. Now, douchebag personas aren't inherently bad, but trying to combine a douchebag and a quirky persona doesn't usually work. They are two very different personalities that don't mesh well together, or at the very least you're not meshing them well together, you stumbling robot.
Robots? Where?
Ooh, the cringe.
Stop masturbating into your microphone.
Anyway, so basically what this character is that this character's name is Kenzo, and I guess he is a Siberian Husky. And let's just take a look and look at this character here. Does this look like a Siberian Husky? What? I'm sorry. What? What is this? Like, I'm legitly, like, confused on why this... I mean, I can understand, like, the tail and the face, kind of.
Oh, so on an anthro-furry character, you can recognize the elements of the character that are clearly the more furry-inspired, and you can recognize the species they're going for. Oh, but you can't. Yeah, that makes sense.
Breaking news! SavDraws does not understand how furry OCs work.
But everything else, like, Huskies don't have neon green. Neon green has nothing to do with Huskies.
Wow, you really don't understand how furry OCs work.
Neon dogs. Neon dogs everywhere.
And why do they have to add the green nostrils?
The reference for this character specified that they were of a species that had green blood. Now, us as humans, we technically have white organs, save for maybe the liver, but our blood colors our organs pink and red. Similarly, the interior of our nostrils are somewhat flesh-colored, but as you go further into the nostrils, they become more blood-colored because of the blood vessels. If this species here has green blood, then yeah, it would make sense for them to have green nostrils. Hell, he probably has green and perhaps somewhat yellowish organs as well.
Like, and the tongue piercing. Like, why?
You're bitching about green tongue piercings. Like, you know that green tongue piercings are a thing, right? They're real.
What the fuck? Anyway, let's read the bio here. Enough with how the character looks. If you guys don't know, I'm really against neon colors in characters. Neon colors can be used in moderation, but I feel like with this character, it's kind of overused. Like, neon green, bam, it stands out, bam, neon green and black, bam, neon green and gray, bam, edge. And no, I don't have another word for edge, sorry.
Congratulations, you have found the point of neon colors. Good job. Yes, neon colors can be used to make characters pop out, but that's part of why they used it. What's the problem? Also, you say it's bad when neon colors aren't used in moderation, yet the other predominant color in this OC is deep gray, which is a color that is darker and is not used to make a character pop out. Yeah, what are you smoking, and can I have it because this video is already painful to sit through. Finally, how is neon green edgy? Is edgy just a buzzword for you at this point? Cause it sure seems like it.
I don't have another word for edge. Sharpness? Bite? What even is a thesaurus? Can I smoke it?
It's definitely not what SavDraws is smoking.
And I find it funny how they choose the fur color to be the same color as the background.
Except for the fact that it's not the same hue as the background, which is, you know, kind of a huge, huge thing in art. The hue of the green of the background is different than that of the much brighter and more vibrant green of the character's fur. Not to mention the background is a solid black and the character's fur is clearly a deep gray, as evidenced by the fact that you can see them.
So that we didn't have to color it?
They didn't have to— What? Okay, are you paying attention to this background and other parts of the character in this picture here? The blackness of the fur in some of the character, if it was the same color of the background, is still over another part of the background, that being the light gray rings. The green part of the background is under the white shirt. Furthermore, there is white in the picture when the background contains black, light gray, and green. If they didn't color it in, the background would be going through where the coloring of the character should be.
Anyway, so let's just get right into it here. Alright. Name is Kenzo. Age is 20 in human years. Like, what? Hold on. This character is 140 years old in dog years.
This character, who is clearly a mix of dog and human, is 140 years old in dog years, meaning that I'm kinda just ignoring the human aspect of the whole matter. What the fuck?
I don't even think Sav knows the definition of a furry.
Oh boy, can you see by the dawn's early light what's so
Stop.
Anyway, sexual orientation is straight, species is Siberian Husky, voice is kinda like the same voice as Joker from Mass Effect. Okay. Clothing style is tank tops, t-shirts, with or without print, baggy pants, baggy shorts, can wear a necklace with his symbol on, arm sweatbands, hoodies, and sneakers. But he's not... He's not wearing clothes in the reference image.
Hey YouTube dude, if a reference sheet is meant to showcase the appearance of a character, what do you think is the most important part?
The penis.
This guy knows where it's at.
No, but seriously, furry characters are drawn naked in a ref sheet, so if they commission people, the artists can look at the ref sheet and see what they look like. Thanks to Sketchpone for shedding that information into the neon limelight.
Okay, apparently he is that his clothes that he's wearing now?
Oh yes, he's definitely wearing sneakers right now. They're just invisible.
It was just an excuse not to color the clothes!
It's all a prank, bro. He's obviously wearing a hoodie right now, I swear on it. There's baggy pants somewhere in this drawing.
Cause he has a green fucking bulge! And he doesn't have a dick! He doesn't have a dick!
Guys, help! I've somehow been turned into an anthropomorphic version of a dog, a species that, when they stand up, have their dicks recede into their bodies. And now that I'm standing up, I can't find my dick! And I have no idea why! Guys, save me!
Wait, you're a boy?
Let's play Find the Dick!
Personality is an energetic person, but not too much energetic. What? Oh, wait. An energetic person, but not too much energetic. Oh. What? I cannot English!
You gotta excuse SavDraws for a minute here. Apparently she forgot that this was an art critique and is going on a tangent about the person's English sucking. This happens when she starts imagining she's Dr. English Stickler at the University of Texas, where she teaches a high-end English honors class, and when you mess up on the English, the whips come out and it starts getting really kinky.
Oh shit, boy, where do I sign up?
Which have resulted in some people abused his kindness for their own good. Which have resulted in some people abused his kindness for their own good. What is it? What is sentence?
See, as someone who's been keeping an eye on SavDraws for a while now, this sort of critique of someone's grammar or potential mistakes they've made with their sentence structure is pretty funny, considering that SavDraws had this as her disclaimer in her old OC reviews. Warning, this video contains jokes. Don't get butthurt by my critics. I'm sorry, Sav, what? Your critics? So people who are critical of you and your work are going to somehow annoy the artist whom you are critiquing? Or did you mean critique? And this is a disclaimer she had been using for about a month, August 8th to about September 5th of 2016. So what's the excuse for not catching that at the beginning of your videos for a month?
Getting the whip for yourself now? That's my kink. Count me in!
A real goof. Loves to be funny and joke around. He is a huge family person, loves his family, especially his mom. Okay, so apparently he has a lot of good traits. Now, to create a good character, you have to have a lot of good and bad traits. I spot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and possibly 2 bad ones. So 5 to 2 isn't really a good ratio. I would probably give him about 3 or 4 bad traits, just to make it about even. So there's, not even 3, I'd give him about 4, because if you want to have a good character, you need to have good and bad personality traits. Nobody's perfect, everybody has their flaws, and to add someone who has no flaws is very, very just perfect in every way, you know?
Only 2 character flaws? Cause I spot 3. He can be quite provoking in a bad mood, he's naive, and he uncontrollably helps people. That's free. And you know what? Let's ignore that because I'm gonna give a lesson in writing 101. While it is recommended that characters have a good ratio of character flaws and positive character traits, you can still have a good character that has like 5 positives and 2 flaws. I'm gonna bring up Mabel from Gravity Falls as an example. Now, she's a character that's fun-loving, quirky, random, and enjoys herself, but she also is seen as possessive, as seen in Sock Opera, where she doesn't help Dipper with whatever he's doing and instead insists on him helping her with a puppet show so she can impress some guy. She can also be too romantic for her own good as well. That's 2 character flaws, but 4 positive character traits. It doesn't matter though, because even though she doesn't have that many character flaws, what is available are character flaws that leave a mark and can lead to a lot of interesting and engaging stories. If a character flaws itself do not affect a character that much, I might see where you're coming from, but you sure as hell don't give any explanation as to why that would be the case. And then you start saying how you don't want a perfect character. This isn't a perfect character though. There's still 2 character flaws in the description for the personality. I'm sorry, you do know how writing a character works, right?
And just to even things out, I'm gonna offer up my experience with character writing as well. So we've already seen that despite Sav claiming that there are maybe 2 bad traits with this character, there are actually 3 at least, and that's ignoring the fact that in particular situations, the good traits of a character can be flipped to work against them. This is more a matter of actually writing situations for the character rather than simply relying on the character's basic personality traits for the whole of any story you write for them. Furthermore, one could argue that it's actually the situations surrounding the character and how they play off of their traits that serve to create an interesting scenario. Let's say, for example, that this artist was using this character in a story or a roleplay with another user and their other character. It falls far more to how the character reacts to other characters and how they react in situations that determines whether or not an audience member will find the character interesting. I actually have a perfect example from one of my own stories. This is a character of my own creation named Stem. Their basic personality traits is that they're fearful of crowds, naive, kind-hearted, naturally curious, and cute. Basically, they're designed to be adorable. As a character in their own right, and discounting their cuteness, Stem isn't really a compelling or provocative character. Pair them up, however, with another character, Mecha, who is quiet, knowledgeable, short-tempered, introspective, observant, and oddly animate when nobody's looking. Again, not a terribly interesting character in their own right, but when you pair them up with a naturally curious character like Stem, it creates a dialogue where Stem can ask questions and Mecha can answer them, because Mecha is knowledgeable and Stem is curious. Stem is naturally adorable, so Stem can do something cute, and it can create a comedic situation where Mecha reacts to it very abruptly and dramatically when no one is looking. Then, throw them into a new environment and the characters can play off of one another and can make for a potentially interesting story. It's not the characters' individual traits that make them interesting, it's how those traits force them to react when paired with other characters or new situations. Holy shit, that was long! Kill me!
Story. He has never known his dad, always lived alone with his mom. His dad leaved her mom. His dad leaved his mom when she was pregnant because he didn't want to have anything to do with Kenzo. Her pregnancy was pretty much an accident, but she wanted to keep the baby. Now that's actually something that I could believe happened in the real world, so that I wouldn't be considered a Mary Sue-ish trait. I honestly think that happens very often, and that is not a bad thing.
This thing that I can totally see happening in the real world, thus making it more real, is good because of that fact, she says while reviewing a man-sized husky furry anthro thing. Blah!
Just, what even is this? Because you can see it happening in the real world is not a Mary Sue trait? I'm sorry, that's not how writing works. By that logic, I guess someone in a post-apocalyptic setting protecting the princess of a Candyland while wanting to find their parents one day is a Mary Sue trait. Looking at you, Finn the human. Don't think I ain't onto ya!
Plus, let's just ignore the fact that a lot of the stuff that people deem to be Mary Sue-ish are things that can happen in the real world, but people don't like them because reasons. Like polyamorous relationships or something. Like, God, you can't fuck more than one person, you fucking Mary Sue! Holy shit, I'm a Mary Sue.
A few years ago, his mom was diagnosed with cancer, which devastated Kenzo in such a way it made him visit her every single day at the hospital, and he took care of her at home. And after she was cured and had a successful recovery, she was cured! Oh! Cancer cure! There's a cure for cancer! What?
You know what he fucking meant.
Like, the description clearly makes note that she recovered from the cancer. People can do that. I have people in my family who have recovered from cancer. Double Mary Sue points!
And had a successful recovery. Kenzo has been living with the inner fear of you losing her ever since. Sorry to break it to you, but people die.
Sorry to break it to you. People can still fear that, you sociopath.
When he was younger, he took drugs and was kind of in a bad friend circle at the time. After one of his friends died from an overdose, he completely erased it out of his life. Well, geez, he just lives an edgy fucking life, doesn't he?
Plus, despite this being edgy, it's something that can happen in real life. Again, people in my life have gone through this, meaning that by your earlier logic, because it's something that can happen in real life, it makes it a good trait.
Sav, can you do me a favor and stop insinuating that whenever a character is edgy, it's automatically bad? Yes, I saw your video on how edgy characters are cancer, and how you said, oh, edgy characters can be done right. But you sure as hell don't seem to have that mentality here. Hell, let's go on to that video for a second. You say how it's good that the vampire daughter from Hotel Transylvania is a good edgy character because she's not your typical edgy character. Now, to explain a typical edgy character, you talk about characters who are depressed, cut themselves, have lots of mental disorders, etc. Now let's look at this character. This is a character that is energetic, is willing to help others, and wants to make a difference. How is that, in your description, the typical edgy character you hate from these OCs so much? This is more of the exception you were talking about, if anything.
He works at a place that helps people getting out of drug abuse. For his young age, he has experienced a lot and wants to use his experience to help others and make a difference for people who needs it. So, other than the fact that he's very edgy, he actually takes his bad comings and makes it into a good outcome, which oftenly doesn't happen with a lot of OCs. Like, it's good that they have a reason for how he acts and how he thinks.
So, apparently, he's all edgy and crap. Which you say like it's a bad thing. It's good, however, that he had those edgy situations because it turns into something good that the character does to help others. Like, fuck! Oh, when a bad thing happens to a character, they're edgy. But it's good when people make characters who have bad things happen to them in the past and use that to be better in the future. But I'm gonna continue to harp on the fact that having bad things happen to the characters is edgy like it's a bad thing. Make up your motherfucking mind.
There's always a reason on why you act a certain way because of psychology, and I feel like this person has a very good understanding of how the past can influence your behavior to things or people.
Because of psychology, which you clearly know absolutely nothing about, or else you'd know that constantly harping on edgy things happening to a character would stop people from having those things happen to characters, despite you also stating that it can be used to develop them later on. Suck my ass.
Yeah, if Bad Wolf Roxy is watching this, why the fuck did you take this numbnut seriously?
He is a real techno head and a huge love for techno music. Goes to raves and concerts. Oh, that explains the neon green. Fuck! Loves to go to the local discotheque. Glow sticks. Toxic headphones. He's given the nickname Toxic because of that. His mom, shuffling, can sometimes do it at totally random places when he listens to music. His friends and kids. He really wants to have his own family when he gets older. He hates violent people, disrespectful people, and abusive people.
Well, doesn't fucking everybody?
Except for violent people, disrespectful people, and abusive people.
God damn. I find it funny how you have a lot of love options there and only hate, you know, the basic fucking things that everyone hates.
Why is that a bad thing? Some people just aren't hateful people. Like, if you asked me what I hated, I'd be hard-pressed to tell you stuff I legitimately hated. Sure, I can list things I dislike, like mushrooms, but I don't hate mushrooms.
And it does make sense with his character. When you look at how he's an extrovert, how he's naive, and how he's incredibly helpful, no shit he wouldn't hate a lot.
Like, you cannot be any more unoriginal with the things that he hates. Like, legit, like, why? Like, everybody does not like violent, disrespectful, and abusive people. Like, that's not something you go about saying you like, you know? It's very obvious that people don't like that kind of thing. And honestly, I feel like this person should give more thought into that part.
Oh, I see. It's unoriginal. Okay, here's the question. Why do DeviantArt people give a shit? This is one thing that just eludes me about the DeviantArt community. I get you want to write down what your character is into on a reference sheet, but why write down what they hate? It's a way of writing characters I've never really gotten. What a character hates should just come naturally with the character traits themselves. Unless they hate something specific, which in this case, Kenzo doesn't. And in this case, it's more something that's not needed. How do you deal with these dweebs, Ponder?
Weekend sexitams!
He has a very good understanding of psychological understanding, but the fact that he doesn't really know how to build personality and likes and dislikes. He only knows, like, how he acts.
So, first it's that the artist has a solid grasp of psychology, and they've built the character with that, but now they somehow don't have that same solid grasp of psychology because... reasons, I guess. You know, the artist would have to have that same grasp of psychology in order to build his personality as they would in order to dictate how the character acts. These things are not mutually exclusive. The way in which the character acts is his personality.
And it's very interesting because it seems like they haven't really put much thought into the character itself, but the story. It seems like they put more thought into the story than they do the actual character.
What? You mean the backstory? The backstory that built the character into who they currently are, explaining why they do the things they do? Are you high?
Which I don't mind, but if you're gonna have a really edgy OC like this, I would recommend maybe changing it up a bit.
So this is something you normally wouldn't mind in the first place? You only care about it because it's edgy? Yeah, if I didn't watch your video complaining about how edgy OCs are cliché, I would have thought this to come off as incredibly biased and one-sided. Which, either way, it is, considering cliché characters can still be done well. But oh wait, everyone needs to make characters the way SavDraws makes characters. That's all I've been thinking of throughout this entire video. You didn't make this character the way I would have made it, so that means it's bad. Get that bullshit out of here and do a proper analysis already.
The fact that he uses neon green all the time, and how it's embedded in his fucking skin, would not be the greatest option, because you don't know if you're gonna be a raver when you're 5. Like, legit, like, you just don't know. And if you're born with neon green, it's like, oh my god, I'm born with neon green, I'm gonna go fucking to a rave because that's where I belong.
Sav, you know what? I agree with you that it's weird to have it embedded into their skin. What I don't agree with is your bullshit reasoning. Look, as someone into color psychology, I decided to look up what the color green would represent, and according to this website, green describes a personality that is loyal and faithful, someone who cares about other people and makes excellent friends. And if you've been paying attention, that's exactly who Kenzo is. The neon, yeah, could just be there to give more insight to the character's liking of rays. But let's just ignore everything else because neon colors win. Maybe if you said how neon isn't a natural color type, I would have brought this. But as it stands, you're not considering all the options as to why green in general was added to the character design.
What am I doing? Oh yeah. Anyway, that's my overall thoughts on this character. I don't think it's bad, but I do think it needs some improvement.
Oh, so that's why you gave it a 4 out of 10.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, poke that like button, subscribe for more content, links in the description. I love you all so very much, and I hope you have a very, 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 very awesome day, and goodbye. Bye.
Oh my god, die in a fire.
This was the point I literally just stopped and considered shooting myself. So, final thoughts.
My final thoughts. Sav, I'll be seeing you again soon.
Well, I won't. I can't stand these dweebs. So, this is my message to you, Savvy. This review is shit. You had absolutely no idea what you were talking about, and only didn't like the character because you didn't like it, and nothing more. Anyone can do that. I can do that. Watch. This is cringy. There, I did it. I'm a DeviantArt reviewer now. But you know what? I think I know why this is the case. You can say this is false, but I think you're starting to focus more on your humor rather than your points. When I saw your OC review on AI and heard you saying this,
This video is very monotone and very plain for a specific reason. A lot of people wanted me to go back to my old videos where that was very cringy and wanted to give my honest critique with no jokes whatsoever. This is often used by DA ranters, and I will not be doing this again. I just want to show that it is very fucking boring to do this without my jokes and without my pure editing and without myself. This is not me.
I thought, you know what? I kind of feel bad for liking this video. Because I did. I liked that video. And I watched some of your older videos. I liked them too. They weren't joke heavy and didn't have a lot of editing, but I liked them because you actually thought about what you were saying and gave solid critique. Then I realized, your old videos express as much of who you are as your newer videos. What changed was your attitude. What I got from this video was, I don't care. I'm just gonna make a bunch of awful jokes and do this on the fly. I'm not saying you can't have jokes in the video, even though the jokes were awful in this video. Oh yeah, shocker, jokes can be awful. Maybe you should stop saying, this was a joke, as a defense for someone calling your joke shit. But anyways, when you start focusing on jokes and editing more than actually making valid points, you get this. I know you're going for depression right now, but quite honestly, I don't care. You should go back to your older shit and improve upon it, because your older shit has way more potential than whatever the fuck this video was. I'm done.
Alright, let's see. I said say no more! I said say no more! Robots? Where? Robots? Where? Asperity, acrimony, enmity. It was just an excuse not to color the clothes. It was just an excuse not to color the clothes. Let's play Find the Dick. Let's play Find the Dick. Oh shit, boy, where do I sign out? Sign out? That's not what you do in an orgy. You just, other things go out. Plus, let's just ignore the fact that a lot of the stuff that people deem to be Mary Sue, she's gonna sue you. Plus, let's just ignore the fact that a lot of those stuff that oh, Jesus. Because of psychology, which you clearly know absolutely nothing about, or else you'd know that constantly harping on edgy things happening to a character would stop people from having those things happen to characters, despite you also stating that oh my god, die in a fire. Oh my god, die in a fire. Oh my god, die in a fire.